This player struggled with hitting pop-ups, and in this video I'm going to share with you what we did so he can start doing this, start driving the baseball. So if you watch until the end, you're going to learn 7 different reasons on why you may be hitting pop-ups, and you're also going to get 7 drills to fix the problem. So let's get started. Welcome back to my channel. I'm former Major League Baseball player Jermaine Curtis, and today I'm going to give you 8 reasons why you're hitting pop-ups, and I'm going to give you 5 drills to help you to stop hitting pop-ups. Okay, so with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing you want to check if you're hitting a lot of pop-ups is your timing. Hitting the ball deep will cause this issue, and that's something that you should, be cautious of. Every time that you take a swing, take a step out. And I always ask myself 2 questions. I ask myself, was I on time, and was it a strike? If I was on time and it was a strike, then something's wrong with my swing. But if I wasn't on time and it was a strike, then that means I was late usually, and that would end up me hitting pop-ups. So that's what you want to do, is you want to always ask yourself 2 questions. When you get out, take a deep breath and be like, am I on time? Yes. Okay. And the next thing is, was it a strike? Yes. Okay. You'll see in this video right here that he just hit this ball late right here. Just late. He hits it right here. Boom. And then it pops up, as you can see. So it didn't allow him to get through that baseball because the barrel is still back. He didn't throw the barrel. And that's another thing too, is, and I'll talk about it more later, is releasing the barrel. He's still trying to stay inside of it, but that's because he's late. He can't get the barrel out front because he's late. So that's something that you want to be cautious of, knowing where your barrel is and knowing if you're on time or not. And as you can see, this ball beat him, and that's the reason why he popped up. So that's the first thing you want to assess when you're in the batter's box, knowing if you're on time or not. Now, the next thing is pitch selection. I talked about, is it a strike? I said, first, are you on time? Then the second one is, was it a strike? So the next thing you want to do is pitch selection. So as you'll see with this pitch right here, you'll see that this pitch is up and in. Now, that's a tough pitch to hit. I mean, that is a pitcher's pitch. High in, low, away, those are pitcher's pitches. That's a pitch you don't want to swing at. You want to take those pitches. So he swung at this pitch, and what you do, pop it up. It's just a very, very tough pitch to get on plane with and hit. You know what I mean? There's only a few people in this game that can hit that, and Barry Bonds was obviously one of them. If you watch videos of him, there's balls high and tight, and he's driving it and keeping it true. But most people aren't hitting this ball. So that would be the second thing, the pitch selection. Where are you hitting the ball? You have to understand where the pitches you can hit balls with and the pitches that you can't. You have to understand where's the strike zone and what pitches are you hitting well and what pitches you're not. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, because I see it in a lot of young hitters, are their shoulders. And what I mean is, on launch position, where are their shoulders? And you'll get a lot of kids on launch position, their back shoulder is like this. And since your back shoulder is so low, then guess what happens? Your swing works underneath the ball, and that's why you pop it up, okay? And that would also add to your hands, and I'll get to that later. But your shoulders, once on launch position, you want to have one slightly lower than the other one, and it's preferably the one that's in front. You want your front shoulder to be slightly lower. So let's look at Connor right here as he hits, and look at Connor. So he's loading, he's getting back, loading. Good short mid leg kick, and look how his shoulders are still with this front shoulder slightly down and his hands back cocked, right? And that's basically it. That's a good position. But you'll see a lot of young hitters where they're the opposite, where this shoulder has already went down and this shoulder started going up, which means they lost the barrel and it dumped back here, and that's why they're not able to get on plane with the baseball. So that's something that you want to look at right there. You want to look at whether or not your shoulders, where they at when you get to that launch position, which is like right here. So if you get to that position right there and your back shoulder is low, then that's something that you want to start fixing. And we're going to get into the drills a little bit later, but that's what I would recommend. The next thing I want to talk about is not throwing the barrel or releasing the barrel, I like to say. And you'll see it here with him. He stays inside the ball, but he's not releasing the barrel till he's right here. So so this entire time his left hand is taking over on the swing and his right hand is just along with the ride. Then it's not until he gets right there that he releases the bat head, and that's the reason he misses it. He doesn't know where his barrel is, and that's something that we worked on tremendously, is knowing where his barrel is in his swing. And a lot of young players, they struggle with that. They struggle with where is the barrel. You have to know where it's at. And you want to work on the top end. I'm going to get more into that later, but you want to work on the top end because the top end controls the barrel. It creates the path of the swing. Okay, so if you're hitting and you don't know where your barrel is, your mind doesn't know where your barrel is, you're going to have trouble hitting that ball. It's like, you see police officers in movies and you see that they're holding it like this. They're over here like this. It's guiding them so they know where it's at. So if they need to, pull the trigger, then they're able to do that. So it's the same thing with hitting. Your top hand controls the barrel. It needs to know where it's at to go to the ball. And he doesn't know where his barrel is at. And I'm going to give you another swing right now to show you, he isn't throwing that barrel. And I'm also going to show you from Mike Trout's view how he starts throwing that barrel. Because like I said, they have similar swing paths. They like pitchers that are low in the zone. So that's something that, I want to show you so you can learn. As you can see, look how he gets there. Hands are back. He starts driving that back hip, back leg. I love it. Good stuff. He's moving to the ball, gets inside the baseball, tight inside with his hands. The bat head gets level with the ground. Every good hitter, their bat head gets level with the ground so they can get on plane with the ball. And then as he goes, he's still inside the baseball. He didn't throw that baseball. And again, that could be just because he's late. That could be the issue as well. But look at the bat head right here and then right there. You see how that's deep? That ball got in on him, and that's why he popped this ball up. So you want to throw that bat head and get it out front and drive this baseball, especially if it was an inside pitch, which it looks like it was an inside pitch. He stayed in too much, stayed inside of it too much. He's pushing the ball instead of throwing that bat head. Now, I'm going to show you a swing from Mike Trout right now that's pretty similar pitch that he threw the bat head. He got the same mechanics, pretty much similar in that how he got to the ball, but how he throws the bat head to the ball to drive it. So let's look at it right now. So look at Mike Trout. And look how Mike Trout gets his hands back. Remember I talked about the shoulders? Look how his shoulders are slightly lower here, hands slightly above, okay? And then as he starts getting that heel down, he starts turning that back hip, okay? And you see how he's keeping his, hands tight to his body? This is staying inside of it, and his shoulders are not flying open. They're working inside of his body and not around his body, right? You see a lot of young hitters, they're right here, and then this front shoulder starts leaking away. Well, he's working inside. He's going to get in here. He's fighting his body to keep the bat head and everything close, right? You see that front shoulder still is in there. It's not flying out. And this whole backside is getting connected. It's connected. Look at that. And then again, what I talked about the bat head has to get even with the ground, right? And this is all connect. That back elbow is getting in the slot now. And now he's working, again, inside his body, not around his body. And then he starts going. Okay, remember Connor in this position right here, the bat head is still right here. But then look what happens as the ball he starts throwing this top hand to the ball. And you see how the barrel is now going to the ball? And that's how he drives that baseball. So he's just taking that top hand to the baseball right out here. And I always try to focus on the front foot. Can you hit it about your front foot right in this area? And if you hit it a little bit further out front, that's when you're going to drive baseballs just like this one right here. Okay? And that's the difference between a pop-up and driving that baseball, is just right in here, this area right in here. So one person kept pushing this ball to right field, and the other one threw the bat head to the ball with that top hand and then drive through it. And that's how you make that moolah. And just to finish up, you'll see it right here. He's still staying inside of it, did not throw the bat head. He's like guiding the bat head. And then, boom, he tries to release it all the way out here, but the ball's right in here. So now he's beat, and that's where we got that fly out. Okay, so another reason you might be popping up is because your hands are too low. Now, he doesn't have this issue, but I wanted to bring it up just to, talk about it, because a lot of young players that when I start doing online lessons with them, or I'm doing hitting lessons in person with them, or at a camp or whatever it is, their hands are too low. They're down here instead of being up here. Now, how to correct that, we're going to get more into that, but basically what you want to do is you want to, have your hands a little bit higher. We talked about on stride and getting into that launch position. You wanting to, have your shoulders, you want your shoulders to be up, right? If your hands are already low, then you're just going to be working underneath the ball before you even, need to go to the ball. You're only going to be able to hit a low pitch. Can't get the pitch that are up in the zone. The higher you go up, the guys are going to throw harder and harder. So they're going to start throwing higher and higher in the top of the zone, because that's the hardest pitch to hit. Guys throw hard. So that's something that you want to check. You want to check to see if your hands are too low. Okay, that's something that a lot of young players do. So the other thing is the back elbow too high. Okay, and what I mean is this: you'll see, in Little League, they tell you to keep your back shoulder up. Okay, well, if your back shoulder is up and it's really in an awkward position, I guess your scap is activated, but what happens is they start doing this just to, try to get to the ball. First move, because your elbow so high, is here. You want to be comfortable. You want to be here, and then you want to get up. You want to get your scap activated. You don't want to be here and then drop low. So that's something that you want to also be cautious of. Maybe you want to bring your hands just a little bit down to more comfortable position and just go up, when you load, instead of being here like this and then trying to go. Again, right there, that would cause that issue. And now that I'm talking about that, because if you do have that, if you're like this, then you can lose the barrel just because of that move right there. You're trying to get on plane, and you're going to lose the barrel back here, right? And another reason why I'm talking about that is also your hands. You'll see a lot of young players, they're gripping the bat like this. Look how just gripping the bat like this, for how you're not going to be able to control the barrel of the bat, because you're gripping it like this. They're like real hard and grip. So I always say I line the knuckles up, because I always wanted my hands to be like a hammer in my hand. Like if you were, if you had a hammer in your hand and you were trying to put it to a nail, you're going to be right here like this, boom, right to the ball, right to the nail, right? You're not going to be like this, gripping it, trying to hit it like that. You're not. You're going to put it in your knuckles and go right to the nail. And then you can maneuver it or manipulate it the way you want to get the result that you want. So that's something that you should also think about as well. How you are gripping the bat. It's something that no one talks about, but I see it with a lot of young players. They naturally want to grip it and grip and rip. They're like this, and they even look awkward like this as they're hitting, instead of being, you'll see players right here in this position where they have this slight little box with their bottom hand and their elbow slightly up, and their front shoulder slightly down like we talked about, instead of this position right here trying to swing. See, that barrel just dropped and then you lose it. So that right there are the 7 different issues that you may be having that is causing pop-ups. I truly believe that if they're one of those things that are causing you to pop up, and if you fix those things, which now we're going to talk about it, it's going to really help you to hitting more line drives. Okay, so one of the things that you'll hear everyone say, get on plane with the baseball. And it's hard for young kids to understand what that means. And one of the things I do is I put a glove on their top hand, and it's something that I learned from Barry Bonds personally. He taught me this drill, and it's really helped me to develop in my career. It really helped me to be the player I am today. And I highly recommend that you do it. So one of the things I do is I put a glove on their hand, and I'll give you the drill. I'll show the drill in a few seconds, but just to explain it a little bit more, I put a glove on their hand and I tell them to catch it with their top hand. Now I put the glove where the glove is like this, so it forces them to turn the barrel. I don't have it where it's like this, right? I have it where it's open so they turn the barrel, because if you're hitting, you're going to turn the barrel, turn it and get it on plane, right? So I have it where it's open, and then I have them get on plane with it. And if it's a high pitch, they're going to catch it like this, where it's open this way. And if it's a low pitch, it's going to be, a little bit under. Okay, so that is also teaching them to control the barrel. Okay, so that is the drill that I like to do with them, and it gives them a way to view how to get on plane with the baseball. And I like to do it off a pitching machine. I like to do it off of BP, and I just have it slowly work towards them. And I have them do it slowly to get that feeling. I want them to do at first just catching it so they learn the strike zone, and then I have them work through it like they're swinging it, so they're working through the baseball with a slightly upward swing. And again, I like to use it off BP, not on flat ground, but when I'm on like a slight mound, so it gives them that angle, so they start working up and through the baseball and getting on path with it. So now I'm going to show you the drill. So the drill I recommend to you is a drill I learned from Barry Bonds. The drill I recommend you will allow you to be more direct to the baseball, will teach you to control the strike zone, and will teach your body to stay back and let the ball come to you. The drill I recommend to you is the catch drill. This drill is by far one of my favorite drills and can be used in so many ways. So what you are going to do is drop your bat, you're going to get in your batter's stance, have a partner flip you the ball, and you're going to catch it with your top hand. So if you're a right-handed hitter, you're going to catch it with your right hand. If you are a left-handed hitter, you're going to catch it with your left hand. In this video right now, I'm using a pancake glove. I usually use a left-hander's glove and put it on my right hand so I can catch it, but I left it at home, so I made an adjustment. Anyways, as you can see, what you want to do is you want to get ready as if you were going to hit the ball and catch it with your top hand. The main reason I like this drill is we are going to get more into that later, but it allows you to see what the body is doing before you take a swing. So I use this drill before I started hitting in the cage, and it's what I do with my students the first thing when they get inside the cage. I also like this drill because it starts working your hand-eye coordination, and it trains you to learn the strike zone, which is a very important thing. It's definitely one of my favorite drills, and I did this every day in my routine. Now I do it all with my students. Now, to get a little more deeper, the reason I like this drill is because you get to see what your body is doing. For example, if a player is opening up, you immediately see it, and you can make adjustments without swinging the bat. Or if your head is not staying on the baseball, you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to feel it and notice it. Or if you're not getting extension through the baseball, you can make corrections and teach to get through the ball just by using this drill. I also like this drill because it teaches the strike zone. Earlier in the video, I was taking pitches that were balls. If you do this, this will allow you to learn the strike zone as a hitter, which is very, very important, especially as you move up the ladder in competition. And if you control the strike zone, you get better pitches to hit, and this will result to more success. Another reason I love this drill is because it gets your top hand to get on plane with the ball. See, the top hand controls the barrel and also creates the path of the swing. And if your top hand is going direct to the ball, or in other words, goes directly to catch the ball, you are going to hit. The last reason I love this drill is because if you are a player that is jumping at the baseball and not staying back, this will teach your body to let the ball come to you, which will make you more balanced. And balanced is one of the most important things when it comes to hitting. So the next drill I like to do to help you understand your point of contact and being direct to the baseball and controlling it and going right to the baseball is the tap drill. With this specific player right here, Connor, we started to work with the tap drill. The tap drill helped him out a ton because what happened was he couldn't feel what I was trying to translate. So I was like, all right, how do I get him to do that? And the tap drill was the way. And with that, it slows everything down and forces him to control the barrel and be right direct to the baseball. So I'll show you a few clips right now as I'm talking, but as you can see that you'll see I'm controlling the barrel. I'm controlling it, and I just want to tap it. It's like a half swing, and you're going right to the baseball. And if you do it right and you stay strong, you're going to hit line drives. And that's what I would tell him. At first, he was popping it up because, again, he was working underneath the ball, and he wasn't going direct to it. So he was popping it up at first, and I was like, just stick with it. Come on, you got this, you got this. And then he had those few where he had one where he felt it, and then he felt the next one, and then boom, he started to get it. He's like, oh man, I love this drill. And that's his go-to drill now that we would do off the pitching machine, off of BP, and I would throw it high, low, everywhere, and just forced him to just tap it. And he started working more to the ball and start hitting line drives even with the half swing. And then the next one we would do to that is the 3/4 drill, which means you're going to go a further out front 3/4. It's not a full swing. You know, the tap drill is here, and then the 3/4 is just a little bit more through it. That's it. It's not a full swing. So he's still working to the ball and he's working slightly through it, but it's not a full swing. So that's another one that we did that will help you if you're popping the ball up. Again, it's going to be hard at first because you have to learn how to control the barrel. The next drill we did as well was the Barry Bonds drill. You guys all know about it. Barry Bonds Christian Yelich drill. You know, we set the ball on the tee and have him hit the home plate and then work further out, and that's just working the top hand. Barry Bonds was big on the top hand. I'm big on the top hand. It's helped me to, again, be the player I am today. So we worked on the top end. In this video, you see he doesn't really take the top hand to the ball. He doesn't release that barrel. So we worked on his top hand being dominant when it needs to be dominant. Not too dominant where he starts rolling over, but dominant when it needs to be dominant. So we start with, you know, hitting the ball from the tee and hitting it about, you know, hitting home plate, then working out like 2 feet in front of that. And we kept working until he starts hitting line drives, you know, up the middle on the line. Then we work a little higher and work from there. Again, that's just a top hand drill to get you be more direct and clean out all the bad movement back here. Okay, all that bad movement back here, unnecessary movement, that's what that's going to clean up. So I got him more here, and you'll see it. You'll see it in a little bit. Now I'll show you a few swings of what he looks like now. This was a little bit earlier, and what he looks like now, how he started driving the baseball just from, you know, what we did. Okay, now the next 3 drills are very simple. We worked on high tee, and we put it about chest high, and we had him try to hit the ball on the ground, and you know, it's going to be hard to do that. But what happened was he was hitting low liners, and we focused on him doing that. We just put it out front further so he could start pulling that ball, and we started working back so he started driving it to right center. So we just did high tee. Simple drill. Everyone does it against working that top hand. And then we did top hand as well, having him control the, you know, barrel with the top hand. Did, you know, one hand drills, working that top hand. And then the last one, we we had him on the tee and we had one leg on the ground. So we had his back knee on the ground and his front knee out. And what we did was we just had him hit off the tee and hit low liner. So we took away his lower half and forced him to use his hands to go direct to the baseball. And that usually started cleaning up. And you'll see in this swing right here, and you probably already seen in the intro, that he basically was more direct to the ball and he released that barrel, and that's why he drove this ball over the fence. Okay, so those are the drills that we did. If you watched into the end, let me know that you watched into the end. Go ahead below, comment below, say I watched into the end, because I really appreciate you. And since you also watched to the end, I'm going to give you this book right here. This is the Hitter's Law. Basically, you're going to use this book for data to understand what type of hitter you are. When we're talking about Connor, we realized that he liked low pitches. He has an upward swing, so he's definitely going to like low pitches. And this forced him to create a plan that will allow him to be successful. So he was hunting that pitch that was low in the zone, and that was what made him drive baseball. So as you see, when he hit that homer, when he hit this double right here, they were low in the zone. And so he was taking this A swing off pitches that were going to give him the best results. And he was using this right here as well to get results. So I'm going to give this to you for free. All you have to do is just pay shipping. And basically what you're going to do is write down every pitch you see, where was the location, your thoughts, your approach at the plate. You're going to just jot it all down. Then you're going to use your data to be successful. The players at the highest level know what type of players they are. And if you don't know what type of player you are, it's going to be very hard for you to stand out. Because the higher you go up, the pitchers start understanding what they do well, and they start to attack you, and they start to have plans. And if you don't have a plan, when they have a plan, you're going to get beat. And that's the truthful and that's the honest way. So you have to make it adapt, and you have to realize what type of player you are. You got to hunt the pitches that you're going to be most successful. And if you don't get those pitches, you just got to battle. So that's what you do. You use this book right here to help you. So if you want it, link will be in the description below. So since you've watched this video, you must click this video right here and watch it. It talks about the mental game, and it's what separates players. If they have it here, they're going to go a long ways. And if they don't get it as a young player, it's going to be very, very tough as they get older. Go over there, click the video, watch this video, and dominate.